Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster Yoga. And today's class, a 30-minute practice for strength and flexibility. So we'll begin sitting nice and tall, grounding down through our sit bones, lifting up through the crown of our head, and just starting to focus on the breath. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a moment to set your intention for your practice. Any intention is welcome. And then we'll roll forward. Grab 2 blocks and a strap if you have them, and then take one of your blocks between your heels and sit back on the block. Alternately, you can sit your hips between your heels onto the floor. Inhale, reach up. Watch that the ribs don't pop out. So draw the front ribs in. Bend your right elbow. Take your left hand on top of your right elbow. Lengthen through the back body. Make sure your knees don't go wider than the hips. Reach your left arm out to the left. Bring it behind you. Clasp hands. Or you can stay with the pose before. Or you can hold on to your strap instead of reaching your hands or your shirt. So it never matters how deep we get into a stretch. Just matters that we feel a stretch. Widen across the collarbones. Roll the left shoulder back. Let's release. Inhale both arms up. And exhale, palms face each other. Then bend the left elbow. Right hand is on the left elbow. Watch those ribs. Make sure they don't pop out. So left hand is toward the upper back. You can stay right with this. It's a beautiful stretch. Or right arm out to the right. Bring it behind. Clasping hands. Or holding your shirt or using a strap. Just watch that those ribs didn't pop out. Then roll your right shoulder back, creating space between your collarbones. And then release. Bring your hands behind you. Inhale, lift up right off of that block. Stretch the whole front of the body out. If it bothers the wrist, turn the fingers to the outsides of the mat. Let your head go back any amount. Stretching, stretching, and then release it back down. Inhale, sweep the arms up again, ribs and belly in. Exhale, arms to a T. And then press your fists or your palms together. Roll the shoulder heads back, but again, watch that overarchy back. Ribs draw down. So again, it doesn't matter if you can't touch your palms, just touch your fists together instead, but roll the shoulder heads back so you can widen across the collarbones. Your shoulder blades will move in toward each other gently and press forward toward the chest. Make sure the knees are still not wider than the hips. Release, reach up, inhale. Watch those shoulders don't creep up around the ears. Spin the triceps forward. Exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace. Inhale, open the chest. And then hands to the floor. Exhale, lift up. If you want to go deeper, you can take forearms to the floor. And try and lift your buns off of that block or off the floor, any amount. But reach the tailbone toward the backs of the knees. And it can be a bit much. So if it is, keep the hands on the floor instead of coming to the forearms. Walk yourself back up, move that block out of the way. Now turn your inner elbows forward so that your triceps spin back. Slowly begin to come into downward facing dog. Press extra weight into the thumb and first finger side of the hands. So even though your inner elbows won't face the front of the mat, we don't want them to. We just want that action of the triceps spinning back. Bicycle the legs, straighten out the legs when you're ready. Stretch out the spine, reach right arm or right leg up, Exhale, shoulders over wrist, bring the leg in toward the belly. And then step it up. Take your left knee to the floor. Pat up the left knee if it needs any padding. Hands on hips, come on up. Pull the right hip back. Reach up through the arms, spinning triceps forward. Continue to pull the right hip back and lengthen the tailbone down. As you exhale, bend the elbows, open the chest, make a circle around. Inhale, arms up. Face the palms to the front of the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows and make a circle. Inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, open up the chest. Bring the hands to the mat. Now straighten the front leg. pull the chest forward, inhale, fold over the straight right leg, exhale, pull the right toes back. If it's hard to reach the floor, you can always put your hands on blocks on either side of your right leg. And then we're going to just slide that left knee forward. The knees are in line with each other. If this bothers the knee, grab a block, put it underneath your right hip, or you can roll up a towel or put a pillow there. Now, lean back onto the forearms if that works for you. Otherwise, stay up. Some of you might even lean all the way back onto the floor, but make sure the left knee doesn't open out to the left. We want to keep that knee straight ahead. Breathe here. Watch that lower back. It likes to overarch. Bring the hands to the mat to press up. And then step back into plank pose. Slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, little cobra. Peel the chest up. Exhale, press up to plank, knees up or down. Lift the hips, down dog. Inhale, lifting left leg up. And exhale, draw the leg in toward the belly, shoulders over the wrists. And step it up, right knee down. Remember, you can always pat up the right knee. And inhale, come on up, pull the left hip back. You can also tuck the back toes under if that feels more stable. Reach arms up, spin triceps forward. Keep the ribs drawing in. Exhale, open up the chest, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open the chest, moving slowly, and then hands to the floor, straighten the left leg, pull the toes back, coming to the heel. Remember, take the blocks on either side of the leg if you like. Folding over the straight front leg, hinging at the hips instead of bending at the waist. Left hips pulling back. We try to keep the hips level as we can. And now let's bend that front knee. Slide the back knee a little bit forward. Start to sit back. Remember, you can sit back onto a block or a blanket. And watch that your knees don't splay out. You can stay all the way up or maybe lean back onto the forearms, or you might lie all the way down. It's Ardha Supta Virasana, half hero's pose, lying down. So make sure again that your lower back isn't overarching. Lengthening through the back here. Tailbones reaching toward the backs of the knees. Don't want a big arch in the low back. And then slowly pressing up. Step all the way back into plank pose. Lower chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhaling up. And exhale back into down dog. Arms, shoulders distance, and feet hips width. Arms and ears are in line with each other. Gaze between the knees or the feet. It's called your drishti. Look forward, step or hop your feet up. As you inhale, create length in the spine, and as you exhale, fold forward. Press through the feet, inhale, rise up, look up, and exhale the hands to the heart. Finding your Tadasana here, lift the belly, lengthen the tailbone, firm the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up if that's okay with your neck, and exhale, fold in. Crown of the head reaching down. Bend the knees as needed. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, stepping to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Remember not to rush your chaturangas. Move slowly. Whole exhale, a whole breath. Firm the legs, inner thighs are spinning back. Spread the fingers wide. Draw the front ribs in. Look forward, bend the knees, hips high, either step or hop the feet. Take an inhale, look up, lengthen. As you exhale, fold. And press through the feet, rise up on the inhale, look up. Exhale, samastitihi. Again, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float, your choice, but if you jump, land with bent elbows. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. In up dog, thighs and knees are off the floor. Exhale, down dog. So as you spread the fingers wide, press into the base of the fingers, lift the forearms away from the floor. Turn the outer upper arms, triceps toward the back of the mat, the inner upper arms, biceps toward the front, and press extra into the thumb and first finger side of the hands. Look up, hips high, step or hop the feet, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Pressing down, rise up on your inhale, look up. And exhale to Samastitihi. Now again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float chaturanga. So you step to plank and lower or land in chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Widen the collarbones. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, you never have to jump. You can always step. It's completely fine. So you're going to get blocks handy by the front of the mat, if you have them. And then make your way back into down dog. Reach your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. Stand the ball of the back foot. And bring the hands on either side of the right foot into your high lunge. And then exhale, straighten the leg and fold over it. Then inhale, bend the knee. Make sure it's over the ankle. You can keep doing that or hands to the floor work too. Exhale, fold over the leg, straightening the knee. Inhale, bend the knee directly over the ankle. And then exhale, slowly straighten the leg. Look up, lengthen, and one more time, fold over the straight front leg. If you're more flexible, you can walk your hands toward the back of the mat, turning fingertips toward your toes, the back toes. Lengthen out the spine. Keep pulling right hip back, then walk the fingertips forward. Take the left knee to the floor. Get a block or two on either side of the front leg. Straighten the leg, fold over it. So we're going to come into Hanumanasana splits. So you can stay with folding over the leg with the back knee bent, or hands on either side, or you can put a block underneath the front leg. I recommend using a block if you're not all the way down so that you don't overstretch the joint in the front knee. Pull the right hip back. We want hips to be level. Hip points facing the front. We don't want to open the hips. And then step back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling up. And exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Keep the ribs pulling in, keep the belly lifted. And left leg up, inhale, lift it from the inner thigh. Exhale, step it up. Bring your hands to the floor or on the blocks. Blocks on either side of the front foot if you're using them. If it's hard to reach the floor, use your blocks. Then exhale, slowly straighten the left leg, fold the chest over the thigh. Continue using blocks, or you can move them off to the side. Inhale, bend the knee, make sure it's over the ankle. Slowly as you exhale, pulling the left hip back and fold over the leg. And again, inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, and slowly straighten it out. So if you're a little more flexible, walk your hands toward the back of the mat, turning your fingertips toward your toes. If not, use your hands on blocks. Or whatever you have. You can use books, whatever you have at home. Walk the hands forward, rebend the knee, take the right knee to the floor, and then straighten the left leg, folding over it for half Hanumanasana. You can stay with that or start to slide it out. Hands on blocks on either side of the front leg for support, pulling left hip back, rolling right hip forward. Make sure all the toenails are on the floor in that back leg. Another way you can do it is take one of the blocks underneath the front thigh for support. Hands will be reaching for the floor. Continue again to pull the left hip back. Stretching out in Hanumanasana in splits. And then one more breath. And we'll tuck those back toes, lift the leg up and back into plank pose. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, stretch back. So keeping those blocks handy. Toward the front of the mat if you've got them. Right leg up. Step it up by the right hand. Stand the ball of the back foot. This time we'll come into a high lunge. Inhale up. Pull the right hip back. Spin the triceps forward. And then lean forward for those blocks. Hands on blocks or on the floor. Reach your left leg up, but as you lift it from the inner thigh. Drop the outer left hip down. You can keep your hands on the floor of the blocks. You can stay there or bring your hands to your heart. Little wobbly for me today. Keep lifting the back leg from the inner thigh and maybe reach the arms forward. And never take out the mistakes because we all make them. Let's bring the hands back to the floor. Walk your hands back towards your standing leg. Keep the left leg lifted from the inner thigh. So don't open up that hip as much as you want to. I know it feels good, but don't do it. Want to keep the hips level. Safer for the low back. Step the feet together. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, press up through your hands and feet. Exhale, back into down dog. Oh, maybe the second side's a little bit better on balance, but if it's not, it's okay. It happens. Left leg up, inhale. Step it through, exhale. Get your blocks, hands on blocks. And now up into your high lunge. Left knee over the ankle. Pull the left hip back so hips are level. Lean forward, get some length. Hands on blocks or on the floor. Lift the right leg from the inner thigh. So you can keep the hands on the block or the floor. Take a slight bend in the standing leg's knee and then lift the hands to the heart. Keep them there. Or reach forward. Again, drop the outer right hip down. Reach forward, open the chest. Come back to the blocks or to the floor. And then walk yourself back to the standing leg, maybe holding it. Keep the right leg up, lifting it from the inner thigh. Of course, you don't have to hold the leg. Any amount works. Step the feet together and then just fold in. Nice deep forward fold if you can. Inhale, look up, and exhale, step back. And holding plank, breathe. Lift the backs of the knees up. Chest is gently forward. Belly's drawing in. Shoulders just above the wrists. Keep lengthening the tailbone to the backs of the heels and then lift the hips. Downward dog, step or float. We'll come through and sit. So I'm going to take one of my blocks, take the back against the wall. I'm going upside down. If you have high blood pressure, uncontrolled, glaucoma, if you're on your cycle, don't go upside down. Instead, stick with plank pose. Holding plank is great. And down dog, you can go between the two. Otherwise, block is where my feet were stretched out. Now hands are where the block is. I step one leg up as high as I can and then the other. So this is a handstand that is modified. You could stay with that or walk the feet halfway down for a pike position. That's more work. And then let's take a rest. So remember, if you have any injuries in your back, your wrists, your neck even, this may not be the pose for you. So you can do that one again, especially if these handstands are new to you, or turn yourself around, arms, shoulders distance apart, spin the triceps back, walk one foot in, lift the opposite leg from the inner thigh, make sure your hips are level just like they were in those splits. Look forward and gently hop up, touching the feet to the wall, or not. Keep the chest moving forward, look forward, now squeeze the legs toward each other to help yourself balance. Ribs and belly in, and then slowly release. Right away into child's pose. Sometimes I know how exciting it can be if you get up into a handstand, you want to jump right up and tell everybody, but it's not good to do. It can make you real dizzy. Now, if you find that it's hard to keep your arms straight or it's hard to keep your wrists directly under the shoulders, I recommend a strap just above the elbows. And this will help keep the arms working the right way. Step one foot up, come up the same way, lift the other, gently pull apart on that strap. Keep your ribs and belly in, keep lifting the tailbone up toward the heels, keep your gaze forward, just slightly forward, squeeze the legs like crazy, and then come on down, child's pose right away. I'm not doing child's pose right away. Hey, Leslie, child's pose right away. There you go. Okay. Taking a rest. Want to get rid of the possibility for dizziness. And then into a down dog. I move it away from the wall a little bit. And I come up. It's kind of like a split in the air. So we did splits today. So I'm going to try a split in the air. Then I'll take my legs together at the top and switch. Split the other way. And just for fun, come on down. You can give that a try. You can push pause, give it a try, or let's do another one of those handstands we just did. And then we'll come back to facing away from the wall. Sitting tall, press the backs of the hands together and then circle up. So we're giving our wrists a little love. And then press the backs of the hands together, circle back down. With a block handy, come onto the back. And then we're coming into bridge pose, option to put the block underneath the base of the spine. And you can stay there, or maybe you'll want to come up into wheel today. Hands by the shoulders, press onto the crown of the head, line up wrists and elbows, come up. To come back down, chin in toward the chest. Since my block is still there, I'm going to carefully put it back onto the base of the spine, and then come on down. I'm sorry, keeping on the block. Not all the way down. Now, an alternate pose you can do if you do have high blood pressure or glaucoma is with that block at the low back. So right now we're going to hug the knees in. But with that block at the low back, you can just lift the legs up, or you can turn and just put your legs up the wall. Now start to roll back and forth. Come on up to seated, soles of feet together, knees apart, sit up tall, inhale, and fold, exhale. Keeping the spine nice and long. Inhale, come up. And now bring the feet forward, same position, but round down your forehead toward your feet. This feels good on the lower back. Inhale, come up. And then let's make our way onto our backs. Draw the right knee into the chest and exhale, take it over to the left for a twist. Look over the right shoulder. Alternately, you can bend both knees for your twist. And then left knee in, straighten out the right leg, and exhale, take it over to your right side, looking left. Let's come on to center. Keeping the spine nice and long, tailbones reaching towards the backs of the knees, shoulder blades draw toward the waist. Let your feet flop open, arms by your sides, palms up, close your eyes. Get nice and comfortable, let everything just sink into the floor now. Forget about your breathing, just let your breath breathe you. Relax. Start to stretch out, take long breaths. Our quote is from Joseph F. Newton. And roll yourself off to the right. Incredibly simple but powerful. Be the kind of person you would like to be with. Press yourself up to seated. Once again, be the kind of person you would like to be with. Bring the hands together, hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Let's bring our hands to the heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communication, sending out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and push the like button, share our classes. All of this really helps our channel. And go to fightmasteryoga.com, join our mailing list. We would love to have you part of that community as well. If you can afford to support our free yoga classes, there is a link below for donations, also one on fightmasteryoga.com. Don't feel any obligation if you can't afford to. I totally get it. But we would love it if you would share, and tell everybody that you know, and maybe everybody that you don't know. That would be super helpful too. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. That is most important. Love yourself, be kind to yourself, and when you're kind and loving to yourself, then you can send that out to the whole entire world. So let's all do it. I will see you next time. Bye.